I so want to do some kind of animated series or some kind of creative production, you know, in terms of politics. Like, imagine this to illustrate some of the problems with American politics. So, imagine a scenario where you had a bunch of um, tenants that didn't want to pay their rent, right? They just wanted to live for free, whatever their explanation is, right? And the way that they get around this is by going out and basically just killing the landlords, right? So they're just going around and taking them out, slaughtering them. And you're talking to a progressive in the background, right? As you're talking to this progressive, landlords are just being slaughtered, right? And you're talking to them, you're like, hey, why is it we can't hold these tenants accountable? Look what they're doing. These guys are just killing people. Look at this. Look. They're killing all these people here are just being slaughtered. The progressive is like, do you know how many people are killed by the police all the time? Why don't I see you worrying about right? Um, so they pull the classic whataboutism, right? And then imagine you see you have this place that's very gun friendly, right? And they're just buying all these guns, making more guns available, to kill a good guy. It takes a good guy with a gun to take out a bad guy with a gun, right? So there's literally like gun vending machines, and they're just piling up, loads of guns. There's trucks coming with guns and just loading up these gun vending machines, and there's just guns everywhere. Like, guns are falling out of trucks, right? And as this is happening, there are a group of people that are taking these guns, right? They're just jumping up and like grabbing guns off the back of trucks, and they're going and just slaughtering children. Bop, 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 bop. I don't know where I could put this series without it getting like banned, right? It's a bunch of kids being killed, and then someone's coming up and is saying, "Hey, we got to do something about this. Like, there's just too many guns, And the more guns they bring, the more kids are getting like literally just slaughtered on the street, just right in the open, just blah, 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 right? And they go and they talk to a conservative, like, look, we got to do something about this. And they're just not here. They're like the First Amendment, this and that. And, I'm sorry. The Second Amendment, that, and our founding fathers, and this and that, and tyranny. And as they're saying this, the kids are just being. And you're like, look, but look what's happening, right? And then as more guns come in, more kids are getting killed, and the conservatives still sitting there with the Second Amendment and the Constitution and this and that, and they want to take our guns away, right? And there's no level of like slaughter where they're like, maybe, it's just this never ending cycle of like, there's more gun violence, so let's get more guns, so we have more good people with guns, and then there's more gun violence, so we need more guns with more people, and it just never ends. And the same thing with like the progressives, like, no matter the crimes and the brutality that you see, tenants in terms of the housing situation, whatever they're doing, they're raping people, they're killing children, they're hanging the landlords, right? And it doesn't matter what they do, you can't talk to the progressive, right? In this like cartoon, you talk to a progressive, and they, no matter what it is, they just, well, what about the cops and how much people they kill, and do you know how many people are dying on the streets because they don't have housing, and you're busy worried, like, I'm not gonna cry about some elite that has enough money to buy a home for multiple people when some people don't even have a place to stay, right? Blood is spilling on the streets, and neither the partisan right winger or partisan left winger cares. Selective outrage. The people who are being hurt are not convenient to the rhetoric. If I can get my affairs in order, I'm really, really tempted. I shouldn't say even tempted. I absolutely want to start doing productions like that. I think just like in movies, you can get people to think. There's something that's really interesting about a movie where you can illustrate certain ideas and get people to be like, wait a minute. And I think perhaps I can do that for people if I can create, in the right way, these kinds of stories that sort of it's a what's it called, a caricature, right, of these things, right? Make it so loud and in your face, just to provoke thought, right? Make people think about some of the things that they're bought into. Anyway, happy Friday.